Alright, what's up guys? Garrett here again. This is take number 2 because the first video I uploaded about the Bookmine didn't show my computer at all, so I was just talking like this the whole entire time and y'all weren't seeing anything that I was recording. So this time we're gonna make sure that my computer screen gets recorded. But in this video I'm just going to go over Bookmine Explorer. Joji and Victor came out with a new area on Bookmine, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think I did the little trial thing before they came out with it, and you know, I found like 5 books in like 20 minutes, which I know is, you know, isn't super fast, but for me it's really fast. It's definitely a big improvement from just using Keep a Product Finder. So let's hop in the computer, make sure that it does hop in. There we go. And let's get into it. So Bookmine Explorer, it's just these two. Right now we're on regular Bookmine, and then I click number 2, and now you can see that I'm on Bookmine Explorer. So like the biggest differences in Bookmine Explorer between Bookmine Explorer and Bookmine is that gosh darn it, sorry. Is that there's 2 years of data here. They're showing, you know, the last 2 years of what the sales are and where the price was. That's huge because Bookmine Explorer is looking for those long-tailed books. It's not looking for the books that are quick flips or anything. It's trying to find those like 100% ROIs that, you know, don't sell like a whole lot, but when they do sell, you make a big return. That's the main objective for Bookmine Explorer, and I like that. You know, I've been kind of trying to do a little bit of both. Get a little bit of mix of both long-tailed books that bring back high returns and a mix of books that sell really fast that, you know, still bring a return back, but, you know, maybe less than 100 or closer to the 50% range of ROI. And that's kind of, I'm trying to get a good balance of both of those. That way, you know, I'm getting those books that, you know, sell every day, or, you know, every time they check in they sell right away. And then I'm also getting those books that, you know, take a while to sell, but when they do sell, man, it's really nice. They can save a day whenever you have like a whole bunch of expenses on one single day, and you're like, man, I gotta make $100 in order to cover all these expenses. And then you get one of those long-tailed books that randomly sells, and you're just like, oh, thank you. Thank you, book god, or whoever it is that's out there. But that's the main thing about this Bookmine Explorer is it's kind of more of the books that I want to find. I would like to get it to where it's like I don't have a whole lot of books that are the ones that sell really fast, because you can do it solely where you're just getting these long-tailed books, but it's just going to take a while. It's going to take a while to see the fruit of your labor, you know what I'm saying? Once you have, like, you know, I don't know, probably 500 to 1,000 of these type of books in, then you're going to start seeing the sales every day. But it will take a long time to get to that point, you know. I can't really put a number on it or anything, but it'll take a while when compared to like buying the quick flipping books. You know, you can see your progress in a month or two, you know, depending on the books, of course. But it's just, you know, kind of however you want to do it. Some people will do it to where you're I think Joji like does the majority of his books off of like Bookmine Explorer. Like he does all the long tail books. And then of course Victor's the seasonal guy. And you know, a lot of people do avoid the short term quick flip books for the sole purpose that, you know, it's going to be a lot more data that you have to keep track of on the back end. Let me make sure here. Yes, I think I'm good. Make sure I'm recording. But anyways, it's a lot more data to keep track of on the back end. Say like you get 3 books sold that bring you back, 100% ROI, and you make, I don't know, $50 on each of them. All you have to do is record 3 books in that day, record what you sold, and then, you've made $150 off those 3 books. But then in order to make the same $150 off of, the lower ROI, quick flipping books, you might have to sell, 15 of those books to get $10 back on each of those books. You know what I'm saying? So you have to record each sale. Like what I'm trying to say with recording is this right here. Like whenever I sold this Scrubs complete deal, I had to come in here, had to highlight it, so I can look back and tell myself that I sold it, record what date I sold, record the price I sold it, and record what proceeds I got, in order to look and see what kind of profits I got. And I have to do that with every book. So if I have to do that 3 times, that's not really, that take like 5 minutes, but if I have to do that 15 times, now we're talking closer to like 30, 40 minutes, if I want to do it correctly. Because not only am I doing that right there, I'm also coming in here. I'm also, if it's a good book that I want to see again, I got to come in here, figure out what I want to track it at the price that I want to track it at, and then for me, I go into Seller Board and I record the cogs on there. Yeah, and it takes, a few minutes per book or per DVD. So that's kind of the difference between, your long-tailed and your short-tailed books. You're going to be selling a lot more short-term in order to get the same, profit return as like, 1 or 2 of the long-term books will bring you back. And that's kind of the difference between it. At least right now with how my business is, I'm doing a good healthy mix of both. I probably have more short-term books than I have long-term books right now. But not by much. Like if I can hop on these long-term books, that's ideal. I'm looking for those more than anything. But I'm not going to pass up a 50%, return whenever I'm making $10 on a book. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you just got to think about things like that, to see what you want to do. Let's see. I honestly haven't found much coming down on here. There might have been a couple, like this one maybe. I think I looked at this one already and maybe I wasn't eligible or something to sell it. I remember looking at this one though, either yesterday or day before. Whenever a book stays on it, available for a few days, that's whenever I get like all concerned. Like, is this actually a book that is gonna sell? Gosh darn it! Amazon keeps logging me out like crazy. I don't know how to stop it. There, I can sell it. Shipping's pretty high at $29, or shipping's high at $9, so it makes it $29. And I mean, there's a possibility I get it sold up there in the 90s. And it's been higher before. What's the primes looking like? We got 10 options, no primes. This honestly wouldn't be bad. It's an ex-library book, so that's not bad. I don't shy away from the ex-library books. And there's nothing cheaper over on eBay. I'm gonna pass on it just because it's $29. You could definitely make that one work. But if it was more at this 24 price, which I'm assuming someone already hopped on, that would be more ideal. But we may have just came a little bit too late. And I'm just going down, I'm looking at these graphs. I got to keep in mind that this is a 2-year graph. On regular Bookmine, they show you the 1-year graph. So seeing these keep it drops, you know, like it's not the 1 year. It'd be way different if this was a 1-year graph and you see this, you know, that's selling a lot faster. But since this is a 2-year graph, you have to keep that in mind. Make sure that you remember that. Otherwise, you'll be like, wait a minute, I thought this was a good. Not quite. But, you know, you have to, it's a little bit of a mindset shift from the long-tailed books from the short-term books, just because, you know, you're buying a book not expecting it to sell right away. You're buying it thinking, well, I might be able to get it sold in 6 months to a year. And if the book's bringing back, you know, 20, 30, 40 or higher bucks, you know, that's all right. That's not a bad deal. But if it's, you know, under $10 for me personally, I'm like, well, you know, what's the point? You know, there's no point in waiting 6 months to a year to get $10. You know what I'm saying? But $40, yeah, I can do that. And of course, you know, you got to do that over and over again. It's not like you do it once and then you're done. This is definitely inventory heavy based business. And with that being said, you have to, you know, replenish it constantly. Not trying to, you know, go too low with your inventory, because, you know, that's when you start seeing less and less sales. Right now I'm at about almost 900 in books and inventory, books and DVDs in inventory. And, you know, I'm even in October, which this is Q4. So, I mean, it's a little bit more uptick of sales than, like, you know, Q1 or Q2. But I'm getting several sales a day, you know. I've been blanked 3 times this year, and it's very, very rare that I don't sell a book or a DVD at all in a day. But that took me, you know, I had to get to the, you know, the 800 area. I would say about the 500 areas whenever I started seeing sales every single day. You know, it takes a little bit of time, but that's why Joji and Victor say 10 books a day, you know, 10 books a day, so that way you can get your inventory up as quick as possible. And then once you're at the 500 mark, you know, you can kind of start looking at how much money you're bringing in and start going off of that, or however you want to do it. That's what I've been realizing, is that how you go about this business is very unique to how you want to do it. Oh my goodness. Thought this was a deal and then saw the $13.66. You're spending more in shipping than you are for the book. Yeah. Let's see here. 16. This one doesn't look bad. Text a little less. This one's not bad, but the used offer count, I get, this definitely has a seasonality to it. It only sells during its season, looks like. But see how this offer count has just risen like crazy to 25. That makes me nervous. Makes me think that, you know, either one, there's another copy of this book being sold, or two, there was just an influx in supply for some reason. But anytime I see the uptick in used offer counts, I always kind of say, you know, shy away from it, just because I don't want to take that risk, because I've done it several times where I bought it at this low right here, and then this just never comes back down. It just stays up there. It comes sometimes going up, you know. And once that happens, you're kind of stranded with this book, and the only thing you can do is liquidate it and hope you get something back from it. Oh, this one looks promising. I say this one looks promising because it's, very consistent sales, and it's been higher in pricing, but it looks like it stayed at that 50 price for the last year, and before that, in 2023, it was up there, and it looks like closer to the 100, not quite 100, but closer to it. At $26.50, that's a little high, but I always click on these, check it out, and then as long as it's like, this one always comes back in price. The used offer count isn't going up too crazy. It is a little bit, but not bad. But I always look at eBay. eBay's almost always got it just a little bit cheaper. It's like, you'll click on this and you'll see, I'll put money. Maybe not. Let's see. Usually, whenever you can click on it, you can see, like, all right, there's Billy Budd's bookstore. Highly doubt they're gonna have it, but let's see. This is Thrift Books. So right here, Thrift Books Phoenix. Almost always with these big, large, you can see that they have a crazy amount of ratings. These large booksellers, they will cross list over here on eBay and over here on Amazon. And on Amazon, they always do it just a little bit more expensive at $25.64, and then you can see over here they did it at $24.24. Now, I have been burnt before where, like, I'll see over here, like, oh, I get $1 cheaper, bought it, and then they'll say, hey, we can't find this order, we're out of stock, and that's because they just sold it over here on Amazon to somebody, and instead of having, and they don't have 2 copies, they only have 1, so they'll cancel my order and send it to the more expensive order. And yeah, so be aware of that. That happens, and it's quite annoying when that happens. But that is a book that I would have went for. I definitely might actually go back and buy it, honestly, because that's not a bad book. Just not going to go through the checkout process right now. Let's see. Oh, we're going through the same books. Sometimes Bookmine does that where it like kind of uploads it twice. But that's Bookmine Explorer, guys. I'm not going to go any further on it. I just wanted to get a video on here just kind of explaining what Bookmine Explorer was or is, and like how it can really help your business, because you're, what do they say, diversifying your portfolio. You're getting your short tail books in there that sell really fast and bring back money really fast, and then you're getting your long tail books in there that will bring you back money, a lot of money, but just might take a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? And the way I have my business set up is where my Be Cool will, after 6 months, it starts dropping the percentage of what I'm looking for in profit. And so, and every month after that 6 months, it drops it more and more and more until it hits a year. And then it's like 10%, profit is what's dropping it down to. So I'm not a real long-term, my business isn't set up for real long-term books. But I'll still buy them and, see if I can't get them sold in that 6 months or even, past that. I'm still making a big return on some of these books, because you're buying books for like, under $10 sometimes, and you're selling them for $90 or over $100. And that's whenever you really see the profits, go really high. And it's something that, is good to, I think is good to implement into your business. That way you can have a little bit of best of the both worlds type of thing. And it honestly does reduce the amount of work you have to do on the back end, the administration work. But that's about it, guys. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments. You got any, tips or tricks, let me know in the comments as well. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.